Yeah, that was a very hard-fought win. I thought Northridge came here with a very effective game plan, executed really well, put us on our heels in that first 10 minutes, and then fortunate to go in that halftime only down 5, and then our guys really responded. Someone was making baskets, but just played with I think we came out with the 8-0 run, and they called timeout, and just were the first 10 minutes of the second half, maybe our best 10 minutes. But credit to them, they came battling back, tied it up. We put them on the foul line a little too much. But we made some good defensive adjustments, I felt, second half. Did a better job on Hughes, who was terrific, and were able to pull away.
All right, Coach, so can we call you the Gipper now?
Nah.
The halftime speech had to be a big deal because they came out with a 13-0 run?
At 13-0.
Run, just pretty much took over the game.
You know what? I wasn't screaming or yelling or anything else. I just said, we can talk strategy all we want, but I said, we've got to get our body language right, our attitude and effort. And who knows, after a long break, it's not like they didn't have a break either. But I just felt like we got to be, I just thought I said, look, our hands are painted at our sides. The defensive, we got to be some up there towards the ball, and our ball screen coverage was usually really good. It wasn't as active, so whatever it was, they came out and responded in a great way, and it was nice to get some easy baskets. That helps a lot. In the half court, we struggled a little bit. They're pesky in there. They double everything in the low post, and on drives they're helping. And you got to make some threes, and we did.
18 points in transition tonight. Talk about what it gives to your team to.
As they're one of the better offensive rebounder teams in the country. Like last year they were, and I think they're +7 on the boards, and we only give about 5 offensive boards to them. And when they sent 4 or 5 guys, if we got a rebound, we were able to get some good act there, and we've turned them over a little bit. It's been a very big part of our offensive package, to be honest. And part of it's Ebuka. He's a blur. He can get all the way to the rim. But we had some other guys make plays. I think Ebuka hit Ryan on Chiz gets out and runs. I tease him all the time. I say, the floor's tilted towards our rim all the time. He seems to be a lot faster going to the offensive end. He finds a way to score and that. But it's been big for us all year. It's kind of who we are. When we turn you over and get transition points, we have an ability to hopefully separate. And our first shot defense has to improve.
Talk about what you got out of Chisom and Okorie in terms of getting to the foul line and knocking down the shots.
Yeah, it's good. I thought Chiz ended up running out of gas a little bit, shooting the ball, but he played the right way. We figured we had to have a trigger guy in the middle of the floor that could beat their coverage a little bit, and Chiz played the right way. He got to the foul line. If he couldn't get over the top, the high-low, and they were pressuring us pretty hard in the middle floor, he was able to drive. And maybe the biggest offensive play was to start that second half. He kind of drew 3 or 4 guys, and he found, I think, Ebuka wide open for a corner 3, and that was just good, lift our team spirit, because I thought we had ourselves 7 bad shots in the first half, and it was frustrating because kind of did that against Colorado in the first half. I'm we can't be that team, that does that. We got to be better, and I thought we played with purpose. Benny really rallied the troops. He showed good leadership, and that helps.
All right, Coach. Of course, I'm aging myself, but I had told the guys that I actually covered Larry Hughes' father when he was at St. Louis that freshman year. So what did you see out there? The way he's playing looked a lot like his father.
Yeah, man. I think he's a better shooter. He's not. And Larry was a really good. Hughes being a really good player, and I know just following that same. You got to follow him and what he means to that city. I was talking about, man, it must have been a lot of pressure on him that he didn't prosper there, because I thought he was just one of the best players we played this year. His just didn't need much space and time, and just you could tell when he got that ball up here, and I was like, ugh, that's a problem. And we said going the game, so this guy, we hadn't seen a guy like this. Off the dribble, he shoots 45% from 3, and that's when that's a ridiculous shooter. And I said, we can't. The best way to guard those guys is not let them get it up and stay in pocket. And I don't think you can. And he got Ebuka one time, went under the screen. Ebuka had a late hand, and he just drilled it. I said, live and learn. You just got to you really got to stay in his pocket and not let him get it up there. And once a shooter like that makes his first shot, you're like, ugh. And he was 5 for 6 from 3, and it's just you're hoping. and that's a horrible feeling. So we did a little better job second half. He's just well, a really good player.
Benny Dealer, 5 assists, no turnovers.
Awesome.
6 on 3s. Just continues his really efficient senior season. Can you talk about what you've gotten out of him?
He's great. He's just like I said, his leadership. He hit a huge 3. I think take it 3 to 6 off a loose ball save. Just feel really good when he gets a look at the rim. And I didn't realize he was 5 assists, no turnovers. That's good. He must have been getting guys to play the right way. And usually when he's on the floor, you're playing 4-on-4. If you're going to help off him, you're playing with fire defensively. So he distorts the defense and doesn't turn the ball over, and he guards his position pretty well. So it's a joy to see him, how far he's come in his career, because those are stories I really enjoy.
Just in general, how are you feeling where you guys are at as a team at the end of the non-conference?
11-2, you probably would have said I'll take it, depending on whatever we got overall. But still not complete, and probably shouldn't be. Just what areas to improve, which is good. Need to. And like I said, Donovan, Jalen, had injured early in the fall, and we need one or both those guys, I think, in the league for some perimeter defense. We can play man to man. So there's that dynamic of getting those guys going. Oscar, I think's rapidly improving, and that's a good sign for us. I think having 2 freshmen like Oscar and Ebuka, hopefully they just get better. As obviously competition's a little stiffer, but those freshmen tend to get better in February.
All right, Coach. Of course, what you said at halftime worked, but first half, 17% from 3,
Whew.
and 30% from 2, and only trailed by 9 at the most.
Yeah.
At 5 at halftime. So, did you look at it as that was an aberration first half, or was it something you need to address?
I just didn't feel like we're locked in, playing the right way. As far as, like I said, it's more. I could live with those percentages and that if I didn't think we wasted 7 possessions on a quick 3. I just think there's better ones. And credit to them. I think they were playing. They were motivated. They were hustling over there, and they were doing a good job. But that's when you got to be a little more, even more determined, not to give in. I thought I got mad at Ryan because it was we just talked about it, come out of the timeout, and he came out there and transition, fired one up. I'm like, Ryan, that's kind of undermining what we just talked about. And he responded great. So happy for him, happy for us, and I think that'll give him a little more confidence too.
Season debut for Donovan today. He started quite a few games last year.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what he might be able to do with the team?
He's a guy that could be our best defender, period. And he's also a guy offensively. He's fine. He doesn't make many mistakes. But he's just got a lot of rust there, and got to get him. It'd be nice to have him and Jalen just be able to give us some more of that length and athleticism that we'll need moving in the league. Just got to knock some of the rust off. It's hard for me to, sometimes you got to take a little step backwards and move 2 steps forward. And I don't want to lose a game, and not that he would, but we'll get this whole crew going. I thought Aiden did a good job, and it's tough. Some of those guys kind of know their role really well, and we got to get him up there helping.
Coach, you got the Golden Domers coming in, and I asked a football coach about what did Notre Dame mean to him growing up. What about yourself? What did Notre Dame, that Mystique, South Bend mean to you?
Man, to me, I think of Lou Holtz, Tony Rice, Jerome Bettis. That's who I think more football. But when I was growing up, back when Notre Dame was independent, Marquette was independent, and they were just when I really started, David Rivers or guys I remember. I was not when they're Digger Phelps, and they were one of the top 10 programs. And then more of my modern day, my professional career, I enjoy watching Mike Bray when he coached them. They were fun to watch, and they had a distinct style of play, and he's quite the character. So it's a big brand, and kind of growing up, I remember hearing about how they broke UCLA's streak, and I was born in '69, so I was a little young to remember that. But Kelly Tripucka, there's one that comes to mind. Orlando Woolridge, he's still Danny Ainge flipping a finger roll over Orlando Woolridge to the NCAA tournament. So. Just a lot of mystique, a lot of history. We know what it felt like when they came out here for football. They traveled well, so hopefully we'll show up on next Tuesday. So we had a good crowd tonight. It was good for break. I was kind of excited and hopefully build on that momentum.
I just want to quickly, 30 points for Ebuka. It seems like we don't even, I don't think we asked about that, but that's almost another program freshman record. Just talk about that.
Yeah, it's he gets it pretty easy. I don't know how, but I mean, I just sit there because I felt like I was looking at the stat sheet. It's like Larry Hughes, man, we gave up 26. I go, and we're like, man, he was awesome. I said, geez, what do the other teams say? What's the other coach like? That guy had 30. You know, it's like, and he had 32 the last game. So he's just getting better. These are all good opportunities for him, and I actually was able to get mad at him. I have to find things to get mad at him to coach him. It's like, but he takes it. So I don't want him. It'd be easy just to give him his own rules and let him do the thing. But it's like, no, this guy wants to be coached, wants to be great. Let's get great in all areas of the game, and just appreciate everything he's doing.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Ebuka Okorie, on your right, Chisom Okpara. 30 points tonight for Okorie for the second straight game. 20 for Chiz. We'll open it up for questions.
All right, Ebuka, we talked last time about you. Well, I talked to Coach about you being out those couple games, and how was that dealing with your mental? You come back and play this game and explode like this in the last game at 30 points. So, how are you feeling out there?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. The 2 games I missed, I was doing a lot of rehab. Obviously, still staying engaged in practice, doing whatever I could to help my teammates out and just like to get back on the court as soon as I could. And yeah, so I felt like as soon as I got inserted back into the rotation, like it was sort of a seamless transition, to be honest.
You guys stayed in the game in the first half by getting to the free throw line repeatedly, especially you, Chisom. Can you talk about the mentality there attacking the basket?
Yeah, I predicate my game trying to get to the rim and building out from there. So I realized initially they started going up on me and like they didn't really have any help defense. So the first guy initially isn't really the problem. It's usually the help that usually bothers me. So get by the first guy, no help, just continue to get to the basket, and then as they realize that they got to push back, just shoot the ball with confidence, create for others as they draw and attack. So yeah.
Both of you guys talk about your ability to get to the line out. You shot 11 14, the both of you shot 8 and 10. Kind of what was the key to you guys, both of y'all's ability to get to the foul line and shoot effectively? How did Jerry start tonight?
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like getting to the free throw line and drawing fouls is a craze for myself and craze for my teammates as well. Putting pressure on the rim, and Ebuka does a great job doing it, probably better than I do. So yeah.
All right, so you had double figures at halftime, but there was a guy on the other side, Larry Hughes the second. Let me show you how old I am.
Yeah.
I cover this spot.
Yeah.
So that's just crazy. But you had him exploding on the other side, 19 points, and you had 14. And then you had 9 points at halftime, but exploded in the second half. So was there something going through your mind about we got to equal his ability up there?
I wouldn't say equal his ability on offense. I feel like it was more like the more focus was on defense and trying to stop him, and like just understanding that our offense will come. And then, yeah, honestly, it was just like defensive oriented, and yeah, we were just focused on getting stops.
You opened the second half on a 13-0 run. What was the message at halftime?
What'd you say?
Message at halftime, opening on a 13-0 run.
Oh yeah, honestly, it was just like getting stops, getting multiple stops in a row, and just understanding like our offense will come. And obviously, you saw in the beginning we went on a little run, and I'd just say the main part of that was just getting stops.
You were 4 of 9 for 3-point range tonight. Seems like the free ball is getting more confident for you. What you think of that?
I mean, honestly, just like getting reps and just having confidence in my ability to shoot the ball because I'm putting in the work. I'm putting in the work outside of the games, and then just having confidence to shoot in games.
All right, well, both of you, what was your Christmas like, and what is the holidays been like being here on campus?
Yeah, I got to go home. We both got to go home back to the East Coast. I think one of the 3 East Coast guys right here. So it was fun. Quick turnaround, though. I had to come back on Christmas morning, but it was great to see my family, great to see my little brother, great to see my older sister, and great to see my younger sister, my grandma. So it was a great little time. And then, going back there, felt rejuvenated, came back here. At the same time, my dad was telling me to get in the gym, work on myself while I was still on break. So that's why I came back here, felt ready for this game.
Yeah, I'd say It was really fun just getting to see all my like, older siblings, because obviously they're older than me. They have like work and like other priorities, so I don't get to see them as often. So it was cool seeing them for a couple of days, and then also seeing some of my like friends, just my hometown friends, and catching up with them and seeing how they were doing, and getting to like work out with them like we did like back when we were younger. And yeah, it was just a really like humbling experience, and just like as I'm getting older, I'm just starting to cherish those moments more and more.
100%.
You guys have had a couple kind of tough, close losses here earlier in the year in our
Yeah.
conference. This time you guys were able to close it out. What was the difference?
I think it's just mentality. You know, that like you said earlier in the season, I feel like our mentality was just gotten better. And, you know, just be a closing team, you know, focus on not just like scoring, but also little details like identifying the shooter, boxing out certain people, grabbing the rebound with two hands, like focusing more on the little details, not being lackadaisical.
Ryan Agarwal's come off the bench for a lot of the year. He's starting lineup now and finishing the game on the court. Can you just talk about what he gives the team?
Yeah, no, he has a great presence, 3-point presence, ability to like defend 1 through 4, and you know his ability to handle the ball and just create for others and himself is just, you know, another playmaker on the court that, you know, also creates space and creates his own driving lanes. As you saw the tough and 1 finish that he had and his ability to catch and shoot, just another floor spacer and a great overall positive attitude.
All right, Chisom, you've been through this before, but was this a good stepping stone to go into conference play? And what kind of advice would you be giving Ebuka about playing in the ACC?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like this was great for our confidence, my personal confidence, everyone else's confidence on the team. You know, it's great to end non-conference with a W. And my advice I give to Ebuka is just, you know, the main thing is just continue the next play. You know, you'll still throw a lot of things at him. You know, he's going to get a lot of attention on the defense, but at the same time, you know, just continue to trust his own abilities and continue to do what he's great at. And then he always has, you know, a supporting cast behind him.
Yeah, just kind of talk about, since you guys just went back to the East Coast, how nice is it to have the ACC opener here in Holland versus having to fly out again?
Oh man, it's amazing. Nah, he'll learn. Traveling, it's not easy, but we have a lot of prominent home games, so I'm very excited. But yeah, the travel is great though. We love it. We get to do it. So
Yeah.
All right, last one. Ebuka, how excited are you about to play ACC games? What is are you nervous? Are you excited?
Yeah.
What's the feeling?
Yeah, I feel really excited. I feel like our team has like a lot to prove, and I feel like we're just ready to compete against these teams that are playing at a really high level. And yeah, we've prepared all season, all summer for this moment, and I think we'll be ready.